Miss D, did you tag us?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, y'all come on in.
Our
conversation. What you ain't tag?
I think it's her Sally a little.
There it go.
Her Sally a little.
Reconnecting on there, the connection.
Reconnecting. All right, we in here, Miss D. So let's go ahead and start and get into this. All right. So of course, welcome to Kicking It Raw. You already know what it is.
Yes.
So you want to go ahead and start that intro?
So this is the platform for men and women to come together where we keep it real and raw.
Yeah.
And as y'all already know, this is a safe space. No bullying or disrespect will be allowed, or you will be deleted and blocked. It's that simple.
Deleted and blocked with no ifs, ands, or buts.
About it popping up on the screen.
If you're new to our platform, we always talk about the realest topics, okay? We give our true, authentic opinion. And I'm sorry, y'all, my voice, by the way, let me just say this for tonight. My voice been going in and out. So, you might hear me like, okay, but just listen up clearly. But like I said, here on Kick It Out, normally, like she said, Miss Tamika, we're every other Saturday. But we're doing something special for today and tomorrow, Part 1, Part 2. And we always talk about the topics that are related to y'all, to us. What we talk about tonight, y'all can read the topic, family, sex, education, whatever you name it. We speak about it and we give our honest opinion, like I said.
Yes.
So make sure you tune in if you have something to say. Send it to our inbox, our Gmail, kickitabout20@gmail.com. And yeah.
And as y'all can see, we are switching it up. Don't worry, just for our Part 1 and Part 2, we decided to switch it up. We couldn't wait till Saturday, but don't worry, we will be back on schedule after this Part 1 and Part 2.
Yep. And hey, whoever's joining, because I cannot see.
At the end of the day, y'all already know what it is and what time it is, all right? Y'all know when Raw get on our podcast, we talk about things that are sacred, things that are uneasy, things that are hard to speak about. This is a judgment-free zone. This is a safe space. Right. If you are on here to judge others, exit stage left and you're blocked. And it's no personal. We don't mix personal with business. But this is for everybody to come together and heal and for everybody to grow together, all right? So tonight's topic, okay, we're going to go ahead and get into it. We love you. Thank you for joining us. Share this live. Send it to anyone that you think can heal from this, can grow from this, or need to hear this, okay? Right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. How y'all ladies feeling?
I'm feeling
good.
You need a tissue? You need to go push the air before we get started? Anything?
No, I'm good.
See, that's the dramatic.
Nah, it's never the dramatics though. Let's speak facts here. F-A-C-T-S. Let's speak facts. It's never dramatics when you're dealing with your internal healing and your emotions. Remember that. Don't let Miss D fool y'all. Don't let Miss D fool y'all because she the most dramatic one. She the most dramatic one on the show. Alright? Don't let her fool you.
No, they done watched every episode. They know the truth.
That's them seeing you on the show. Let them see you behind closed doors and see what they think.
You're still the most dramatic.
I mean, I'm a Sag. What can I say? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into tonight's show, okay? All right, so for tonight's topic, Part 1, okay? What did your father teach you? Okay,
that's the topic.
What did your father teach you? Let's go ahead and put that in the comments, Ms. D. What did your father teach you? So the first question is, what did your father teach you? So we're going to go ahead and get into this, all right? We're just going to go from you to Ms. D to me. All right, first question. This is a part A and B2 with it. What did your father teach you?
All right, so
look at the camera and let the people know.
My daddy, my father, Pops, whatever you want to call him, he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about standing tall, standing strong. He taught me about independence. He taught me about what is it that you need to do to you know, being an adult, a graceful young woman, growing up into a woman, how to respect myself. You know, he taught me, you know, as I did get into the guys, you know, we had some talks and he taught me about, you know, how to make sure I'm protecting myself and etc.
Let's take a breather. Let's take a breather, all right? Because Pops taught you a lot.
Right.
Already.
I was going in, and yeah.
So let's take a breather. So you said Pops taught you about guys, and Pops taught you
Yeah,
about
we used to sit on the couch and watch Mario all the time, me and my daddy.
watch Mari. That's,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Me and my
That's
actor.
that's the
Sit
deep
on the
one.
couch all the time, watch Mario.
Okay, and Mari was the show for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Mari. So when he teach you to know who your baby daddy is.
Well, yeah. Definitely that. The Mario taught me that.
Don't forget,
But-
Maya was basically the first series straight. 'Cause
Right.
remember, he had the teen episodes too.
Exactly. I used to watch them too, but you know, when I used to sit down and watch them with Dad, I used to be like, I ain't gonna be like them girls. And Bob, like, he used to be like, yeah, don't be like them. But yeah, we
I
used
love
to watch
that.
Mario.
No, I love that. That's so
We
important.
used to watch Mario.
Yeah.
all the
We
time. I just
laugh
thought
at y'all
about that.
because of Mari, but really that's special that your father
Yeah.
will tell
I
you,
just
like,
thought
you
about
know,
that. I didn't
don't
remember
carry
that till
yourself
just
like
now.
that.
Believe
But
it or
yeah.
not, there's actually.
And I think Jerry
That's
was
what I was going to say. That's a blessing. That's amazing.
But yeah.
So, I want you to tell me, Miss D, and the viewers, if you can name 2 main things that your father taught you, that'll make it easier for us, because if we can name 2 to 3 things that our fathers taught us, then we can go from there. So what's the 2 or 3 things that your father taught you?
Self-respect, independence, reliance, and also how to make mechanics, how to maintain my car and upkeep and all that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, would
Hey,
you
Tika.
name it? Hey,
Hey,
Tika.
Tika.
Sorry, y'all. We into it. Hey, Elizabeth. We love you. Hey, Tika. We love you.
Elizabeth.
Hey, Shanika. We love
Hey.
you. So, you said that your father taught you these things, right?
Mhm.
So, when he taught you these things, what did it mean to you?
I mean, let's see. Well, I guess then, because I was a teenager, I guess back then I really didn't think of it too much anyway. You know, you're a teen, you're growing, you're just going through.
No,
Emotions, so you
what do
just-
it mean to you overall? even if it was a teenager or adult.
I mean, like I said, back then, you know, I was just like this good that, you know.
Oh
I
wow,
just
your
bond.
father was a pimp. Okay, I respect the pimp
Yeah.
hand.
Right.
So, you know, being that your father was a pimp, I want to know, like, did that affect your life in some type of way? Did you grow up to be a pimp? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking a serious question, Miss D. That's not funny.
Right.
I see it on your face.
It was
But
the
no.
way she said it. I'm sorry.
Did you grow up to be a pimp? Did you do the opposite? Like, I really want to know. For
Yeah,
real.
because a lot of qualities you can learn from how
Yeah,
to
you
be a
can.
father. Like you can, I mean, somebody that was in that industry. I'm gonna just call it an industry, but you know, there's a lot of things that you can learn. A lot of great hard knocks.
Yeah, it can be good and bad things.
But back to mine. What was the question again? What did I learn?
No, the question was, you said he taught you, you know, resilience
Right.
and mechanics and
Right.
all those things. What did it mean to you?
Well, it didn't mean the world to me because I was able to take that knowledge and qualities as I did grow. You know, but even if I made like mistakes or whatever, I was still able to take that knowledge and know and learn from it, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as the last question that goes with question 1, you guys, what did it teach you? These things that you named that your father. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, you live a gangster life. You lived a gangster life for 41 years. Okay, so when you say you lived a gangster life for 41 years, what does that look like to you? I'm trying to get deep.
Not look like, what was that?
What was that? And when I say what does that look like, I mean, what does his life look like? Because he's lived a gangster life for
Right,
41 years. She said to love everyone and put God first in our lives.
I love that.
Now come on,
Yes.
Sheila. Now where was your daddy at when I needed him? Because I didn't put hands on people and everything, Sheila. Now Sheila, come, Sheila.
Now she went right from her daddy to put hands on people.
Sheila. Sheila, that's the one. No, for real, that's a blessing. Like, if your dad can teach you to love everyone and treat everybody a certain way, that's beautiful. Like, honestly, let's be honest, if a lot of us was taught that from the beginning, a lot of the routes that we took would be totally different. So, all jokes aside, I really love what Miss Sheila just said. And thank you, Sheila. We love you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike, for joining us. And I really do love.
Sheila, I love you, Sheila. Hey,
Yeah, hey Sheila. I don't know, but we love you, girl.
Work together.
Oh, hey Sheila.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. We do appreciate it. We show you love as well. We love you too. Thank you for joining us. Tika, she did say some things. Let's see what Tika said. Let's catch up on y'all.
Tika said to think and be able to stand on your own with or without one. Also, and work your ass off till you get where you need to be. It means a lot to see a man work hard and figure things out.
Right.
I love that. I love that.
Because we don't have that much these days. That's a whole nother subject, but you know, that was a quality that we did appreciate. If you had a father example or whatever, that was a quality that we did appreciate.
I like that, Tika. All right, we have some more comments coming in.
Go ahead. Well, who else saying?
She also said, listen, pay attention to what people do versus what they say. Don't be a slave to your habits. And then
Got that right.
Elizabeth said, my father taught me not to find a man like him. I never had him in my life, but honestly was better off for it. My mom taught me how to be an independent woman, but my kids have an amazing dad that teach them everything.
I love that.
Oh, I love that.
That you took that, you know, your father not being there, and you took it and made something positive. Because a lot of people take it in the route and end up with someone like their father. Because 9 times out of 10, the statistic that most women end up with men similar to their father, whether good or bad.
They actually say that a lot of women look for men like the traits of their father. They said that.
It is very true.
And
honestly, I gotta
we
sit
are
back and think about that.
Unwillingly knowing that until we actually pay attention, we actually, you know, have found the man with traits, whether good or bad, relatable to your father.
I love that because that is true when you really sit back and think about it. I love that. And we're gonna get to Mike. He said you have to have wisdom. Being a gangster, wasn't afraid of death. Okay, so wisdom, that's deep.
So basically, well, I want to say basically, but you can, you know, answer. So yours was like a survival.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Survival to the finish. If I'm saying it right.
And it sounds like he learned that from his dad.
Right. And honestly, I didn't learn that from my dad. Not that my daddy wasn't a gangster before, you know, when I was little, whatever. But I did learn survival of the fittest, you know. I feel like I was raised off of survival, love and survival, but definitely survival and a lot of skills.
Yeah,
you know,
I love that.
And especially when it comes to a lot of things, but for example, like employment, you don't have to be struggling for no job. You know what I'm saying? Get out there and find another one. You know, a lot of people used to be like, "Oh, girl, you keep putting a job in gap, and that's why I have all these skills and background. And what do you have? No offense, but you have this one, you know, this one skill, and you're trying to find. So just do you."
Yeah, and I can hear that in your tone.
Yeah. Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I hear you, girl. I hear that little raspy. Yes, Sheila said he went from robbing a bank when I was in kindergarten and became a preacher later in life. Now that is a testimony. No, for real. That's a testimony because he went from robbing a bank to becoming a preacher. God gonna do it. He gonna use you. God gonna use you. And I love that. That's a testimony right there. It is. Hey Lindsay, we love you. Hey Lindsay, where you been, girl? We ain't seen you in a while. So, Miss Danielle, before we continue, and y'all continue to chime in as well, what did it teach you? That's the last question we got for you.
So I guess to sum all that up, it definitely taught me that I can fend for myself. That I have the capability to do what I need to do, whether up and downs come into play, but I can accomplish what I need to.
I love that.
I'll sum it up, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you may think of something as we continue to roll.
Right.
So, Miss D, we're going to go ahead and move on to you. The first question is...
Shout out to Mari. Because like
Shout
I
out
said,
to
my
Mari.
daddy used to watch Mari.
Mari,
That's a
yeah.
memory I haven't
I love
lived in
Mari.
a
I
long
love
time.
Mari. Yeah.
I'm going to have to call my daddy, ask him, do you remember we used to watch Mari?
Okay, so I have a question for you, Elizabeth, real quick before we get to Miss D. Elizabeth Catroli, I hope you're still on here or you see this. You said that your father taught you to not find a man like him. First of all, that is very deep and it's very detrimental. So I want to ask you, how did you avoid not attracting or finding a man as such as your father? That's why I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, that's a good question.
All right, Miss D, we're going to kick it out to you. What did your father teach you?
Honestly, not much. He taught me a little bit about cars, mechanics, or whatever. Like when I got my first car, he taught me a little bit about cars. And other than that, not really anything.
Okay, so your father taught you about cars, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll take that. All right, so what did it mean to you, your father teaching you about cars?
Sadly to say, it didn't really mean much to me because he wasn't the only one or the only man teaching me about cars. So
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not laughing at her answer. Her face expression was like, your face was like, I mean, what was she saying? I love it. I respect it. Her face, like sometimes our face expression, we be laughing inside and we can't hold it. But
Yeah.
continue. So what did it mean to you? Your father teaching you about cars, Miss Danielle.
Like I said, it really didn't mean much to me. Like I guess if it was more meaningful or something like that, I would have had more meaningful like feeling behind it. But
I'm laughing because I know personally behind the scenes.
I don't know what she's talking about. Go ahead.
so I mean, it really
Miss D, stop playing.
it benefited me, yes, but
I
it
was gonna
wasn't-
say, Miss D, stop.
it benefited me, but how did it make me feel? It wasn't meaningful.
Okay, like it did. So those moments that he taught you about cars, that wasn't like a father-daughter like connection or memory that meant something for you to hold on to, is what I'm asking her, y'all.
No, because I guess it would have been if he was the main man teaching me about cars or the only man, but you weren't the only one. I was learning about cars from other men as well, actual mechanics, reaching out to other people. Miss Danielle, her father, like, so it wasn't like no meaningful one-on-one, like he's the only one teaching me, like this master teacher.
I get what you're saying.
It just wasn't meaningful.
It wasn't something that was like sacred just between you and him.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did it teach you?
I mean, it taught me how to, certain things to look out for on my car, how to keep my car up, and some of it did teach me, from it did help me car-wise even more because it made me go out on my own or to other people to find out more or open the door to learning more information and things like that on it.
Right. But that's not mine.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. No, Miss Danielle's over here doing things, viewers, without my consent, but it's all love.
And I guess if you want to say, I kind of am in the same boat with Elizabeth, where my father didn't actually teach me what not to look for, but as growing and things like that, I guess he kind of did teach me in a way where he wasn't trying to. It was a lesson learned later on from me just watching and seeing the reaction from what he was doing, the things he did to me in my life, and me finally opening up and owning things like his absent in my life or in and out of my life and things like that, treatments and things. So it kind of made me finally realize that even though it was too late, because was one of those people where I could say it was true for me, where I did go for men like my father, or look for specific personality traits and things like that, like my father and things like that in men.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you.
Which shows why the dating pool was terrible.
The dating pool was terrible, girl.
Okay, so
in there, but those were the
so
ones
we're
I
gonna
dug.
dive into what
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Mike said. Mike, thank you also for supporting our show.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
bro.
Thank you for joining us.
My father put a gun in my hand at the age of 12. I'm sorry that happened to you, honestly. At the age of 12, that's a lot.
Yeah.
At the age of 12, first one to shoot up a schoolhouse in Chicago. Oh, wow. Yeah, at the age of 12, that's really young to be dealing with some severe trauma and something like that, like, here's a gun, go shoot up a schoolhouse. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's very deep and detrimental. And thank you also for honestly being raw and uncut and speaking your truth.
I mean, you know, a lot of people, let me just say this, a lot of people don't know how to be parents. And there's no rule book to being a parent. You know, none of us have kids and know, like, everything that we're supposed to do. But it also comes with morals, values, you know what I'm saying? Or what, even if you didn't have it, you should be, like, teaching your children the opposite, or trying your best to teach your children the opposite, you know? I mean, it's just common sense, but I just feel like some people don't have it.
Yeah, some people don't have it, and I for the people who don't have it, it's just it's okay that they don't have it. It's just about them actually learning,
Right.
like you said, to actually,
Right.
you know, give that change and that support.
And I just wanted to ask a question to you, Mike. I know probably back then, him putting a gun to your head as a 12-year-old probably
It wasn't to
scared
his
you.
head. It was in his hand.
Oh, in his hand, yeah. How did that
Hey,
make
cuz,
you
love
feel?
you.
Like, how did that make you feel then, and then also now being an adult and looking back at it, how does it make you feel now? Like, how do you look at that situation?
How did that reflect, Mike? How did that reflect on your fatherhood, being a father to your children and stuff? You know, did that have any of that?
Okay, so he said he's always been a leader. Me too, Mike. Okay, that's one thing I never lacked from my parents.
Right.
Definitely being a leader. He said, Miss D, to you, it keeps you from getting ripped off when people are working on your car. The same thing he taught his daughters. So, you know, there was some teaching in there, like Mike said.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. So we're going to keep rolling, keep coming with the comments, you guys. We appreciate the love. Like I said, this is a judgment-free zone. We're going to keep it real and raw. And we're going to do some healing today, baby.
When they know that you know what you're talking about when you're going to the mechanics and you pretty much standing strong and aggressive. Because I'm a naturally aggressive person, okay? If you don't know, now you know. I'm pretty aggressive, and a lot of times when I do go into the car shop, you know, they looking at me like, is something wrong with her? But no, nothing's wrong with me.
I guess I know who I'll be passing my keys to.
No, you're not passing your keys to me. You
See,
gonna go do your own
we
job.
gonna go there.
I can go with
We
you.
gonna go there live.
You're not passing your
She
keys
not
to me.
supporting me. See,
Nah,
we about to go there.
She always trying to throw her stuff off of me. No.
It's not.
Anyway.
See, it's not that I see she over there can of words.
Yes, it is. But no, they don't like that feeling of
Well, maybe you
can
could go
show
with
you
her. You can go with her.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go with her.
So we'll see, you guys. So what did my father teach you? Teach me? One thing that my father taught me was patience. I never met a man or seen a man so patient, and I know I didn't realize it when I was a kid, and I also didn't pay attention when I was a teenager. But my father is more patient than he really know, honestly. And I need to learn some of that, because I realized, like, thinking back, even through trials, I really had the best parents in the world. And looking back at my dad, I was like, wow, he's really a patient man, because him and my mom had their trials and tribulations, and they had their good days and bad days, but I never seen him give up on our foundation. And I love that. It gave me like a sign of like, gosh, that is such a patient human being. And it also made me realize too, my mom was very patient, but we're talking about fathers tonight. But my dad was very patient, and that's something that he taught me. And I don't know why I didn't inherit that, because I'm not patient at all. But he's very patient. And when I say patient, like, he went through the ropes and the ringers and the hoops to make sure that our foundation was okay. And even on the bad times that it wasn't okay, he didn't up and run. He didn't give up.
Right.
I seen so much patience and strength in his fights. That's what I seen. So my dad definitely taught me patience. My dad also taught me another thing that I will always take with me into my grave. He always taught me to never settle. Like, I remember I was breaking down crying, y'all. I will never forget. I had a job. I can't remember if it was McDonald's or it was somewhere. And I was only like 16 years old, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to work, da-da-da. And you know, my parents was very supportive, so they like, okay, whatever. We're going to help you. We're going to get you started. And I remember I got fired, y'all, for something so minor. And I was in that job day in and day out busting my tail.
Right.
And I broke down crying. And I would never forget, my dad just sat down with me and had a one-on-one conversation. And he told me basically, where there's one, there's always going to be another.
Exactly.
Never settle. Never let anyone get over on you. And I took that with me. And I also think that's why I have a tough shell, you guys. Because
I think that's why
my dad has always showed not only tough love, but he's always basically fed into us it's nothing that we can achieve. And even as an adult, he still feeds that into me. So I take these things very serious, and I cherish those moments, and I cherish a lot that my dad has shown me. And the last thing that I want to tell y'all, it's so much we could keep going on and on, but we just wanted to give y'all 2 or 3. But the last thing that my dad always showed me was I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie.
Yeah.
Okay, because my dad is really the definition of a hustler. Like, I never seen that man not walk to a job. My dad will walk from here to Jamaica, literally. Like, I never seen that man not
basically
work.
about his business, he don't let nothing stop him
Nothing.
from handling his business. Period. A lot of.
And you know what?
I
I got something to say for us. So.
I've seen a lot of men complain, "Oh, I'm not gonna do
Yes.
that. I'm not gonna do that." Well, you can't tell me that shit because my daddy did it all. I'm sorry, I can't. It's not
And
that
see,
I can't.
that's another
It's
thing.
not that I want to compare you to my dad. It's not that I want to compare you to my dad. But when you have an example of a dad that we had, you can't give us some excuses because we're not rocking with it.
But the thing about it
You
is,
can keep
that I
doing
don't
it,
like
but we not gonna
about
rock
us
with
is
that.
why did we allow men to give us those excuses?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we had a dad who didn't make excuses.
Right.
My dad didn't ask my mom for no damn bus fare. My dad didn't ask my mom, can you please get up and give me a ride?
Yeah,
Like, he literally walked. He walked everywhere until he got his own transportation. He made his own money. Like, it wasn't an excuse. My mom never had to. I remember telling Miss D, I don't even remember Mom even picking up a bag of trash. Literally.
He definitely had a
I don't even recall it.
in the bags and stuff.
Trash, the yard work. I mean, this man even cooked. He even helped cook. And I'm not talking about no sandwich. I'm talking about full course meals.
And see, that's what I always say, you know,
I don't like when they say it's just women's job because we seen our dad do both.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I always told men and the man that I you know, my kid's father, like, my parents shared the responsibilities.
They
I know
did.
everybody comes from a different background.
You know what? That is a definition.
But they shared the
50-50
responsibilities when it
really
came
saw.
to
And
getting
when
the
we had
kids
this
together.
conversation, I'm like, wow.
They shared the responsibilities when it came to cooking. My daddy was the disciplinary. He made sure we got our homework done.
Yes.
He did a lot of stuff that, honestly, these days a lot of women and men that maybe the caregiver don't get that help with. You know, it's always now like on one single person. But really,
And that's draining. That is
our
so
parents
draining.
had that shared household where that responsibilities was sharing. It made it so much easier, and that just makes everything much easier.
It does. And just honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this. Hey, India, we love you.
Hey, girl.
So, what I wanted to add in real quick before we close out and go to the second question.
I have something to say. Though.
I want to
go ahead and do that.
You do? I love that. No, if you got something to say, please jump in. What did it mean to me? Me just naming the patience, me just naming the hustling, me just naming basically my dad telling me to like keep going and never give up. All of that meant a lot to me because I literally live by that and take it with me in my reality of this world today. Now I have known things and did the opposite. I knew that I should be dating certain men or dealing with certain things, but I did the opposite. And I honestly, just me being on this show tonight and thinking about this, I now want to get into it myself and ask myself and really learn internally, why did I allow those things or do that? Because I feel like that's a part of growing and internally healing to figure out, why did I go the opposite route on certain things when I was shown this? And I think everybody should really look at that. One last second, I'm about to wrap this up. So what did it teach me? It taught me everything that I need to know today. And that's really all I got to say about question number 1, about what my father taught me.
Well, in regards to what you just said, I have thought about that. I have established some of the reasons of why I have.
That's beautiful.
Been in some situations or allowed some things, and some things do come from my dad, like the examples or whatever that I did know from the past.
Oh yeah.
So I have already like researched
started
myself.
You started to find out the roots.
The
roots. Right. Yeah. Ooh,
but I do think that that's why a lot of people, I'm not going to say intimidation, but I think a lot of people don't like our strength of courage that we do hold. And some people say that, well, we might be doing the most, or we, you know what I'm saying, we maybe, they can't understand where we get the strength of not settling or not, or keep pushing, or even though we may be going through stuff, we still having enjoyment and stuff. I feel like they don't understand that because we get that from our daddy mama, but we talk about our dad tonight. We do get that from them, and a lot of people can't take that because they never had that, so they think that, oh well, you should just stay in this place, or you should just do this. And also, I learned from my dad to move in silence, and just get the job done and show people to their face. It ain't about showing tail, but sometimes you just gotta show people to their face.
Basically, talking is unnecessary.
Right.
And when you think about it, that is really how he carried himself. Right. I never really seen him talk. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen him talk about what he was going to do.
Yeah.
So
he just pretty much did it.
Yeah. So let's get into these comments, Missy. You got something to say before we roll?
No.
Okay.
But I love it.
You look good, girl. You look beautiful.
Y'all do too.
Thank you, girl. You got any tips for black spots?
Yes, turmeric and honey. Do some turmeric and honey together. Put it on there. Let it sit like a turmeric honey mask. You could also the good old
I'm gonna do that one because look,
cocoa butter
and honey in
the
kitchen.
Cocoa butter.
Okay.
That Palmer's cocoa butter.
Yeah, but usually around the seasons, my skin starts to like peel, and I get my black marks and stuff. But this is not about beauty. But I look good regardless. Now, hold on now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So good. Okay. But your skin is just natural beauty, and I love that for you.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Not so much, just some blemishes and things on there. I don't like it, but I'm starting to accept it. I'm not used to it. All right. Mike said, all my children are smart, they on their own. When I turned my life over to Jesus Christ, That's when they heard my testimony. My children was around. They never knew I was danger.
Oh,
Yes.
I
love
that.
I do, and God will definitely help you. That's what I be telling people. If you got some problems, seek God. Same for myself. Pray to God on your own time. Pray to God in your own seance. Also, if you have to be around, the church folks, the church like people, that's fine. I love my church as well. But you can praise God. You can do Him in your own. You don't have to share. I mean, we're supposed to share the testimony, but when you are doing it with your own self, with God, you don't have to talk about it with other people. You can build that relationship with God yourself, and then you can move forward out. That's how I feel.
You can
But I
do
love
whatever
it.
you choose.
Right.
You don't even have to move forward out. You can stay right where you at and have your personal relationship with God. The Bible says, when you pray to me, go in your room, shut the door, and talk to me alone. Okay?
But I love that, Mike. I love that.
Yes.
I do.
I do love that as well. I do.
He also said my father was a soldier since he was 14 years old. He stayed in the service until he died at the age of 77. Navy, Marines, and Army Reserves. He had so many ranks.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Amazing.
Thanks for
Shout
the
out to
Yes.
Papa.
Yes.
He held it down.
He said, "Hey, Miss Baker." All right. And no more comments.
We was looking at her for a response.
Oh,
I'm the petty one if y'all haven't noticed. I'm the petty one. All right, so we're going to get into it, y'all. This has really been a good show so far. We're going to keep it rolling. The next question is it's going to get a little deep, so far. Ain't nobody go step to the side, push the air. Ain't nobody cry nothing. So, if you do, please do it freely. We don't hold back here. So the next question is, the second question tonight is, what did your father not teach you? So I'll start this one since y'all went first. So what did my father not teach me? My father did not teach me about men. And when I say about men, I mean the type that I should date, the type that I should go after. When dealing with a certain type of man, how to handle it. I feel like if my father would have taught me about men instead of being so overprotective and sacred and trying to protect me from these guys, then I would have, a lot of things I would have did differently, At a young age, I definitely had a strong resentment for my parents at one point because I had went through something so traumatizing at a young age with the guy, and I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, what is this? I'm seeing one thing at home, but I get in the streets and I'm getting walked like a dog. Like, what's happening here? No, for real.
That's not
like.
So what do you mean by walk like a dog?
I mean, do I need to say? Like, I'm getting walked like a dog, y'all, at a young age, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, this is not what I knew or was prepared for, and I had a strong resentment and I was angry, and I was like, why would you let me go out here into the real world and go through this? And yes, I was dealing with one guy, but it doesn't matter. That one guy put me through so much, and I feel like
we all know.
I don't know if everyone has experienced that.
Well,
their parents might have warned them or set them down, or they might have, like, I didn't have that, and it really made me angry. I resented my parents at that time, and I just looked at it like, okay, I'm in this alone. And I started shutting down from the world at one point at that age, because I was only 17, 18 years old, and it was just like, what is happening? So, because I didn't know what to do, guess what I did, guys? I stayed in that relationship longer than I was supposed to, and I went through certain things that I really didn't have to go through. Had my father really sat down with me and said, hey, this is X, Y, and Z. This is what, da-da-da-da. And if you do encounter this, this is what you do. So that's one thing that I've actually never talked about out loud. So that's really good because I've talked about that with my siblings or something, but not like to the world.
Right.
So that was something that was very traumatizing for me. And I realized like I don't have that resentment anymore, but I still kind of have it towards my sibling. But we're not talking about that tonight.
We're not getting on that. Don't be sad.
Yeah.
Don't be
We're not
sad
talking
on me.
about that tonight.
We're talking about fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, fathers, but sisters were involved. But
No, was it?
yeah, so we're not gonna say anything else because then she's gonna try to say I'm throwing shade. But that was that. Another thing that my father did not teach me is that I feel like even though I was a female, I needed to know more of, how could I put this? More male roles. Does that make sense?
No, it's funny. I mean, I
okay.
Make sure
He didn't tell me the struggle would be that real with taking out trash. And I know y'all might think it's a joke, y'all, but I really cried.
Basically, to prepare you to do something.
Yeah,
roles, like when you get out
really
here on your
overwhelmed
own, even if
me.
you don't have a man in the house yet, that you'll
Thank
be doing it
you.
on your own,
Like,
and you have to be prepared for that.
yeah, and I didn't know that really bothered me as much. But as I got older, I was like, this is really aggravating me, and it really made me angry. I mean, I'm just going to bluntly say it because this is an uncut show. I used to cry at home sometimes when I had to take out the trash by myself. I mean, do I look like a trash person? Like, it's disgusting. So it made me kind of get angry at my dad. And it was just like, why you didn't teach me some of this stuff to prepare for? Like, hey, you know, if a man is not around, you'll be taking out the trash. Hey, you know, you might have to cut your grass. Hey, you got to check your car for this. Like, I didn't get that stuff. And you know, as I'm thinking about it, I'm starting to get mad all over again, y'all. See, now I said that this conversation might make you a little angry or a little sad or a little emotions or whatever, but he didn't teach me that. So I feel like if he would have told me, like, hey, you know, you and your sister this, but hey, you might need to do this. You might need to get your hands dirty from time to time. You might need to do this because by the grace of God, my dad is still alive and he's one call away. Anything I need him to do, he's going to do, and I love that. But when his day comes, then what do I do, y'all? Am I going to be sitting around crying? I mean, you know, the dating pool is hard.
Learn the skill now. And
That's what I was thinking. No, remember I was talking to you about it.
That, for me,
For her,
but
that's not even.
I'm going from what you say.
Okay.
It's not my
Yeah.
but I'm saying for me,
Chiming in.
for me, seeing my daddy do all that, I automatically took on the role when you know, got my own place and started living on my own and stuff. Like, you know, it was like, okay, whatever, the trash gotta be taken out. I'm gonna take the trash out. Or you take the trash out, you know, you take the trash out, but like if I see it, I'm gonna just grab it, you know.
And it's not a big deal to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think because, you know, it's like, okay, whatever, just get the job done. Like I learned that from him instead of like, oh.
Yeah, I wish
And
I could have learned that
my-
because
my
I didn't.
And I don't
Father
mind getting my hands dirty, you know. I only want to be
I think I'm
mechanic. I want to learn how to do all that. So, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to learn how to start getting my hands more dirty. But it's like I just wanted him to teach. I'm
you a little
concerned.
too prissy.
I am. I'm over here concerned.
I'm not prissy. You know,
right
she
now. Hold on.
the prissy
got on
one.
my
That's
hands.
the problem.
Hold on, let me put my gloves on first. Let me
Here
get
you
some
go.
gloves
Yeah,
first.
Oh, I'm sweating. Oh.
Let me get my latex gloves first.
So
You got
I
some
don't mind getting my
hand
hands
sanitizer.
dirty.
So you want me to pick that up?
Oh, what is this? Oh, never could I. Like, it's just too much for her.
Okay, y'all throw shade. But no, if I have to, y'all, for real, to my ladies and the viewers, if I have to get my hands dirty, I will. Do I like it? No. It's really just too much for me. And I feel like had he just like had me, you know, hanging out with him doing certain stuff, and you know,
I'm not gonna let her sit there and tell that lie.
Yeah.
I asked her to
Most
help me
guys,
one day when I was doing
I'm
something
gonna
in
be
my
honest.
car. She got a little smudge on her finger. She said, I'm gonna let you finish it. I'm gonna go sit in the car.
Oh wow. Seriously.
Oh my gosh, I did it.
Yes, when I was fixing the spark
So
plug.
what about you got to
not
put
the spark
oil in your
plug.
car? So you got to do that.
Well, I'm not prepared. I've already asked the guy to do it. He agreed. So I don't have to worry about that. But I do want to say,
Well,
ladies,
how you gonna know he doing it right?
Right.
girl, I don't know. I just got to put my trust in him.
So
Trust
you
in
won't
him.
put the safety of your, you know, you put
Of
the
your
wrong
car.
oil in or something that shuts down your whole engine.
Well,
Who you telling, Peach?
okay, I do have my dad, so my dad can do
No,
it.
you need to learn it yourself too.
I know, sis, but it's a lot. It's just,
Anyway.
I think I'm more like my mom. My mom didn't have to do anything. She didn't have to take out the trash, cut the grass. Hell, she barely even had to pick up a grocery bag, y'all. So it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. It is. But if my dad would have taught me about men and taught me about, having more of the hands-on, really digging into those things, I think in this time and age, I will be more open and equal to it. And how did it affect me in my real life? Well, clearly it affected me bad. I mean, the background of the men I have dealt with, they're crazy. They're sick. Okay? Like, they're crazy. They're sick. And it's like, it's a lot of bipolarness, a lot of psychotic things going on with these men out here, and you just gotta watch your back. You really do, Yeah, it's no more. I think they're all looking down because
I don't know what to say from there. Like,
Let's get into the
wait. Let me say something.
and we clearly see how it affected her as far as not being taught the other stuff.
Yeah, they're, psychotic and have, things that they have to heal from. And I'm not, Mother May I. I'm not, a healer that can sit around and do all that.
Go ahead. Look
But,
Hey, January, hey, sis.
Anyway, and also, last thing is, we already know it's hard for me to take out the trash. That's the worst thing that I can do. I be about to gag, like, for real.
Yes. And Mike said you was a spoiled child, I assume.
No,
I wouldn't say I was spoiled.
She was the crybaby. I was a spoiled child. I was the one that was spoiled. But I also learned a lot of things. But I was the one that spoiled. She was the crybaby. That's the problem, Mike. She was the crybaby.
Wait, I think did I cry?
You always whine, just like now.
Oh, yeah, I do.
But no, I was the spoiled one.
So, all right, we're gonna keep it moving. Miss D, you next, or
into the comments.
That was
it.
Okay.
All right, Miss D. So, what did your father not teach you?
Well,
Let's
like
talk
I
about it
said,
with the
that's
viewers.
basically a whole Bible full of things. I mean, where to begin? I mean,
Wherever you want to begin, or if you want to just say a few things.
I mean, along with you, my father did not teach me about men. Now, he did used to say, you need to go for a suit and tie type of guy. That's what you need. But
What? Your dad told you that? Why would you not do that?
No.
My dad didn't even say anything like that, y'all.
My daddy told
Are
me
you
that.
kidding me?
No.
Me.
Let
He didn't tell
me continue.
Your dad told you that?
Let me continue.
You?
He told me to go for a suit and tie, but he didn't say what type of suit and tie.
Right, because there's a
What
lot of
type
suit
of
and tie
I
men.
mean, you got people in jail wearing suit and ties that committed for mass murder. I mean, it was no anything else. It wasn't nothing behind it. It wasn't, are you
Right.
sexually active? Are you interested in boys? What type of boys are you interested in? No, that's not the type of boys you need to be going for. Who you dating? Like, it was nothing. Don't be sexually active. Don't deal with this. You need to, nothing like you need to watch out for this. You need to watch out for that. Like, there was no education behind it. Hell, my older brother was more to taught me about men and stuff than my own father did.
He did?
And, yeah. Well,
What?
in some parts. In some ways. But it was mostly just don't talk to
Did
as far
she use it?
but as
Why
far as
did you
him,
use your stuff?
Well,
Well, we got me right there. Go ahead, Miss D.
I
As
didn't
far as
get
my
any of
brother,
that.
most of it was don't talk to men, period. You just don't
Right,
need to date.
right.
He threatened them or ran them
Oh,
away.
well, that's
or
not really
he,
teaching you.
you know, and stuff like that. But it was certain stuff he did that he'll tell me, you know, don't do that or don't accept that or whatever. But
What?
like it wasn't none of the major stuff because it was still basically things he was doing or things what my dad would do or I seen in my dad, and so basically me latching out or looking for that father in my men. I basically ignored all that and went for it. My father told me to go for a suit and tie. You not giving me no explanation behind it, so of course I'm looking at you my dad, so of course I'm going for the woman. The dude's like, oh, you just like my dad, so you the guy I should be going with. You know, like you didn't tell me, no, don't go for people like me or nothing like that. It was no education behind it.
Right.
No financial. I didn't learn anything financially from my dad at all. Nothing as far as financial literacy. Hell, not how to even apply for jobs. Nothing that you actually need to go find a job or anything like that. Nothing about you need money for this and that. Like it was no education on that. I mean,
And that's very essential. It's one you need to know those things. Those things need to be taught.
yeah, no healthy relationships or anything like that. I mean, hell, if you want to go back to the first question, he taught me how to have a whole bunch of kids if I wanted to, you know, to repopulate the earth.
Yeah. Because he's.
Why you look at me like that?
Oh no, I'm just deep into the conversation. I'm just deep. Oh my gosh. Whoa, I am looking serious. Whoa, that's not. I'm just into the. When I get into it, y'all, that be my face expression.
But you didn't
No,
know
my
that,
dad was not single. From my childhood, my dad was in several long-term relationships with different women, but he was never single.
And how many siblings you got?
I have on my dad's side is 8 altogether.
8, so you got 8. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm glad he finally stopped. It was about time.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad, from what I know, my dad has never been single long term ever. He's always been in a long term relationship, point blank, period.
Right.
So was he not? Was that good? Because it seemed like you let us know a few.
Let me see. What's another major thing that affected me that he didn't teach me? How to accept love. He didn't teach me that, like, the proper way. Yes, when I was little, my dad did, like, he gave me more affection than my mom. Like, my dad used to tuck me in at night when I was sick. He used to always make sure I was good, give me medicine, like, keep up with doctor's appointments, things of that nature.
That's good. That's major.
He used to sit down, watch cartoons, like,
I agree, Mike.
our favorite thing
Mike
to
said
watch.
that's why he couldn't, because her dad was all over the place,
Mhm.
and that is true.
No, he was always behind bars. It's the
And he
difference.
was
That's
all
what
over
he
the
means.
place.
He's
Yeah.
saying
And
all
he was
over the place.
Right.
Basically, our favorite show we used to watch together was Cat Dog. We used to sit down and watch Cat Dog. He actually used to like cook for me and things like that. He'll cook, cut up my steak and stuff. So there was good memories, but it was still, you never taught me how to accept love, not just from relationships, but people in general, and how to, you know, weed out fake love or negative or toxic people around me. Which now, being an adult and older and finally going through self-healing, I realized he couldn't teach me that because you was also one of the negative or toxic people that was in my life that I needed to stay away from. So you couldn't, of course, teach me that. So I guess that's something I wanted to learn from you, but you couldn't provide.
Gotcha.
And that's
So-
just to name a few.
Okay. Girl, a few is 2. Girl, you didn't name
No,
numero.
3. A couple is 2.
You're right. Wait, is she right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't hold that against me. I've been out of school for about 20 years. All right, so let's continue to move forward, okay? So how did it affect you? Y'all know me silly. How did it affect you in real life?
Dating wise, it affected me because I went to all the wrong men and accepted all the wrong things from the wrong men. Now, some of those wasn't his fault. Some of it, I take my ownership. It was me lashing out at the other parent that I knew I was supposed to be doing, but I lashed out at the mother. But this ain't about moms tonight.
And
But
also, it was you. You should have learned from experiences.
yeah, that's too.
Oh, come on, Miss
I
Danielle.
should learn from experiences as well. But because of it, I put myself in a lot of situations and searching and wanting things that I couldn't get, and I shouldn't even want it because that's not what I needed or wasn't healthy for me. It also put me in bad places where neither parent, him or the other parent, taught me what to accept or having negative or toxic people. So I surrounded myself and searched for other things and a lot of things that was missing that wasn't taught by him from other people around me. A lot of things that I didn't even get to talk about there wasn't learned, but I reached and leaned on other people for those things, and those people were either just as toxic or even more toxic, and basically put me through a lot of other turmoil. But in the end, I did bounce back. I ended up reaching the perfect people that actually taught me and showed me different things, and I learned from it and finally started growing and opening my eyes and getting that experience and that learning.
I love that. I love that because, like you said, even though you were shown so much, of the wrong, you were able. God will do it. God was able to connect you with the right people in your life. Hey, Tina, love you, baby.
Hey.
Mwah. Oh, remember I show you her daughter all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so cute. Okay, so we're going to continue. Miss Danielle, what did your father not teach you?
I would say the two things that my daddy didn't teach me was how to show emotions and how to love properly and give affection.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So, and how did it affect you in real life? Those two things.
Well, for one, not showing emotions, and I don't show emotion. I'm a person that don't like to show emotions. I don't like to cry.
Yeah, because I just told you I missed you yesterday. And you said, I
did.
Well, she better at it now.
I'm working on it, but y'all made me lose my train of thought. But anyway, me not showing emotions, to a lot of people make me seem heartless, make me seem like I don't care. It also affects me when it comes to relationships and being in, my relationships and things, by me not giving my partner that love and affection that they
deserve and require.
Because I'm like being cold-hearted or I'm not giving that affection.
Well, I don't think it's being cold-hearted.
Well,
because you're now saying.
Well, not necessarily cold-hearted.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to some it could look like I am cold-hearted. Also, me not having those emotions also cause problems internally. With trying to evaluate some things. And now when I try to cry, I literally cannot cry.
Yeah, and that's not good.
I've been
because when you want to cry, you got to
years.
be able to cry.
And even though no women are weak, but a lot of women, we emotional. But I'm like not that emotional person, and I really do feel like I need to get into some counseling to work on that, because not saying I'm about to get a counseling and run around here crying all over the place.
You don't know.
But when I'm saying is that I need to work on whatever it is that I need to release to
be able to gain that softness to express your emotions.
I never, even though my daddy and my mom was there for each other, I never saw them love on each other. Mm-hmm. I never saw them hug, kiss, you know what I'm saying? They clearly did that in the privacy of their own, which is respectful. Because because clearly that's probably how they didn't want us to see that. But I also feel like maybe if I would have seen that, then maybe I would have off that knew how to properly show, or you would be able to show more of that side to my babe. You know what I'm saying? And give them the true affection. Not saying I don't know how to do it, but it's just not something that's mandatory to me. And I know
Are you
that
even comfortable with that?
I'm not comfortable with
Yeah,
giving
because
that
some
love
people are
and
not.
affection. And that's
Some people are not. So she's
One
going to
second.
step to the side, guys.
Yes.
So yes, some people are not comfortable with showing that emotion and that side because, you know, it can be tough on you if you've never experienced that or seen that.
Yeah.
So it can be looked at like Miss Danielle said. She had to step to the side real quick. But like Miss Danielle said, you know, that can be a tough one if you've never been shown that or seen that. So I feel like just her owning it, saying, you know, she may have to go to therapy to get that side of her to be more released. Yeah, more released and more basically to surface it and to let her express herself freely.
I agree, because if you weren't shown her things, that's something completely unnatural and unknown to you. So you're not gonna feel comfortable when you do it or things like that, especially
I
for
agree.
years of not doing it.
I agree. And then she also said, you know, guys, if you heard her, she also said, like, when she really needs to cry, like, she really needs to cry, she can't cry. And that's something that's really, you know, that's detrimental. So I definitely agree everything she's saying. She did finish answering. That was her last question. Let's check the comments. Oh, here she is. Miss Danielle, were you good on that one? The answer? Were you
yes.
done?
So
Okay.
by me not seeing my parents show that love and affection, I naturally don't give that, and I know that's been a problem in my relationship. You know, relationship with giving that. So yeah.
I also realized that's the issue with me because a lot of the men I have dated, they're very clingy. They want to be all up under me. I mean, you should be all, if you want to be all up under this. I mean, you know, say it vibrates, baby. But that's a whole other story, okay? You should want to be all up under this 24/7. But patience, like my daddy. Patience.
I got plenty of
Okay,
patience.
so like I was stating, they're very clingy and they want to be up under me. And when I step out the door, they act like they're about to have a heart attack. Sir, I went to the mailbox. This is sick, you know, or like it's a lot. So
Yeah, exactly, Mom.
so like I said, no, but let me get to this. What I was saying is I agree with my sister because we didn't see that, but it was definitely going down. But we didn't see it, but I can show, of course, love and affection to others with no problem. But it's like once I need my space, I need my space. And when you start hoovering over me, now we have a problem because I start to like pull away from you. And that could be bad because, you know, you want to be, you know, all with me. But I'm like, dang, you all up on me. Like, can I have some space? Yeah. And a lot of people say there's no space in a relationship. But you really do need space. It's actually healthy. Yeah, so thank you. Let's check those comments.
All right. Mike said because I was on that boat as well. Okay.
And what he was talking about in regards to what?
I think, were you talking about in regards to where I was talking about my dad and you said that he was all over the place?
He said as far as locked up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then he also said learn from your mistake, but at least you know who your father was. A lot of young ladies don't know who their father is.
Right.
Whether he hold or half man, that's a plus all by itself.
Right.
I love that, you know. You know what made me think earlier, Mike, and I almost cried? Because let me tell you something, okay? My 30s are my best, beautiful years. Thank you, Jesus, Lord, and my Holy Spirit. Thank you. But I almost cried earlier because I was like, I could never imagine being on this earth and just not knowing who my actual father is. Like, I really sat there and it made me cry, not because of that. It made me cry because of the strength of the people who are on this earth and they don't know who their father is. The strength that they have to keep going because, like, how do you really know your true identity without not knowing who your father is, who your mother is? Like, it's just, it's serious. So what he just said was true, and I love that. So we're going to hit it off with the last question of the night, okay? And again, come back tomorrow. because it's part 2. And part 2 will be a little deep. Now, Mike, if you hear tomorrow, don't take it personal, okay? Because it's going down. Let's just put it like that, okay?
Yeah, girl.
It's going down, okay? I don't want the fellas to be all up on our back. You know what I'm saying? It's love. It's love. All right, so the last question of tonight, and I think we all could really answer this as we go. Can the lack of not having a father's love, support, and protection affect a woman's overall mental state and the decisions that she make in life? And can it benefit a woman, good or bad?
I definitely say yes to all of that. It definitely can. I mean, why wouldn't it?
I just want to ask that because some people say, it doesn't affect them. They don't feel anything. They don't care.
But rest in peace to my mama. But my mom didn't know her dad. And every time I would ask her, would she like to meet him or what would she do if she did meet him? She basically said she don't care.
Yeah.
And I really felt like she didn't really care. Like, some people say they don't care, but you can see that they really do. I really felt like she just
That's why I asked this question.
And knew that she would never, sadly, get to know her father. Clearly, her, I don't know what the situation was.
Yeah, exactly.
In the dead or whatever, but she didn't care. And I think what some people can take from that is to grow up and be great in society like our mom was.
Yeah, she was such an amazing woman.
Can take it and go the opposite way.
Shout out to my mom.
So that's
her birthday is on Sunday. But yes, I agree. I think lack of a father, especially for a woman, I think the lack of a father, not having their love, not having their support or their protection overall, can damage you and can affect you and your decisions in life. But you also have to stand on who you are versus, who your parent was. And that's deep because your parent could be one way and you could do the opposite. It's honestly give or take. It's either you're gonna follow what you saw and what you thought you knew, or you're gonna step out and learn who you are as an individual and bring something different into your life and into the world. So we can't. I'll say this: you can do what you choose. So I don't want to say you can't, but it's really always about, okay, this is what it was, but this is what the fuck is gonna be. And I think it's really no deeper I can say that. Because like my sister just said, Miss Danielle just said, my mom didn't have that, but I'm telling you, that woman was an A1 parent. Perfect, all across the board. So, where's she learning from? Think about it. She didn't have a father, and she had trials and serious issues with her mom. So think about it. Where was she learn that from?
I can't speak for my mom. She's not here, but she did tell me she learned a lot of stuff from my Aunt Emily, and she also said that she learned a lot of stuff from her grandma.
So, see.
She said Aunt Emily taught her a lot.
Yes, and rest in peace to Aunt Emily. She's in heaven with our mom. So I love that, and I do think it can affect you good or bad. Miss D, you want to take it away for tonight?
Yes. So I definitely think the lack of a father, or I will say a father figure, can cause a lot of issues. Because sometimes even you having an absence of a father, like your mom, she had her grandmother and y'all's aunt. Yeah, they weren't really father figures because they were females, but she still had a figure in her life. But that lack of father figure or someone who can actually teach can definitely be detrimental or cause certain issues in your life, even if they're not major. I think it will definitely show in some form or shape in your life sometimes, and I think it can sometimes. Well, majority of the time, and I do think it just depends on the situation. I do think, even though it's rare, it can have some positive influence in people's life, but it definitely has negative influences as well.
I love that. So, what would you? We're gonna go ahead and close it out, ladies. And again, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all support. Part 2 going down tomorrow. You already know what it is. We're all gonna keep it real. We're gonna heal together. We're gonna love on each other, and we're gonna support each other. But one tip that y'all want to give to our viewers tonight to take with them. One tip. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be in regards to this topic. One tip.
One tip I would say is let go, let flow, and let your emotions go as well. Just stand on who you are, and be kind to those who love you and love those who love you back.
Yes, I love that. I'm gonna let Miss D go, but I want to piggyback on what she said. Be kind to those of your enemies as well. Okay. It's easy for us to love the people who love us, but let's learn to love our enemies as well. It's tough, but do not let the flesh win. Okay. It's a lot of people who I really can care less about ever speaking to again in my life. But if I encounter them, I'm going to show them genuine love, because I am not going to continue to feed off of negativity and nonsense. Now, I'm not saying going out here picking, but if you run into these people and they say hi back. If you run into these people and they do whatever, do it back. Whatever you put out is what you get. Just remember that. Go ahead.
Before I say mine, Mike, well, I'll say his comment first. He said, yes, it can, especially if the mom and dad in the same house and they truly love each other, and all you see while you in the house, they showing more love to each other. Yes, it will build you up. And then his one tip was, don't fart at the table.
It's kind of too late for that, Mike, because Miss Theo has let out 2. Okay, so it's too late. Yes, we just tried to keep our composure this whole time.
Lies. But no, that's a great tip, Mike. Do not fart at the table.
Or in the grocery store.
That's you. The grocery.
What's your tip?
So, mine's is somewhere on the lines with Miss Danielle, but I'm going a different route with it. Don't let your past mistakes or anything, don't let any negativity or anything stop you from being who you can be, the great, and reach your full potential. No matter whatever your past mistakes is, no matter what you learned or what you don't know, you can always be greater. You can always get from your past. You can always grow and become a better person. Their past and everything what you don't know do not define you. Who you want to be, what you decide to persevere and push to be each and every day is what defines you.
Mine is very short and simple. Be who the fuck you are. Fuck who don't like it. And be unapologetically you. Okay? Live your life. Okay? And I just want to wrap it up. Guess what? Coming up. I can't do it. Drum roll. Coming up next is our Just Kicking It kickoff for October. If you are not at our Halloween event, guess what? You're going to miss out, because we already loading up these candy bags, baby. Okay? Yes. So bring the kids. Best costume wins. That's for adult and kids. And let them know what day is going down, Ms. Danielle.
October the 28th at the Big Lots parking lot on her.
What time is it?
From 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes, and we'll see you guys there. And as we always say, hashtag kicking it raw, hashtag raw, hashtag real authentic with more.
Hashtag Raw Nation. Also, side note, it is a drive-through trunk or treat. Just have to throw that out. Do not get out the car. Do not get out the car. Just drive on through.
Yes, because it's a few people who got out the car, and next time we'll have to walk you back to your car. Okay. All right. We love y'all. Bye. Part 2 tomorrow. Thank you, Mike.
Bye.
You said
Mike, come back.
What you said? Keep it raw.
And
we is. Okay.